Well, welcome to this Energetic NLP Energy Spa session. And today, the topic, what we're going to work on, is increasing our courage to change our lives. Even a lot of us who think that we're in personal development, spiritual development, run up against that wall sometimes that we might be conscious or it might be just part of our unconscious mind that's afraid to make a change. Maybe it's because things are pretty good and you're thinking, well, what happens if I change things? Maybe it's because things aren't good and you're thinking, well, but what happens if I change things? Will they get worse? There's all kinds of unconscious, energetic, and other kinds of programming that can prevent us from making the changes in our life that we know in our hearts and we know in our guts would make our lives better, and yet things hold us back. And that's not bad or wrong. That's normal. That's the human condition. But we're going to work today on increasing our courage to be able to change our lives when we really know it's the thing to do. When we feel it again in our hearts and our guts and in our brain, we know the changes need to happen. And if you're like me, sometimes I jump right into the changes, but there have been times it's taken me years, even though I knew I had to change certain things, but I also just knew that something was holding me back. I guess I didn't know what was holding me back, but things were holding me back. So, again, today's about increasing the courage to change our lives. So the way this is going to work, the way these Energetic NLP Energy Spa sessions work, is I'll do a quick introduction of myself and Energetic NLP, and I'll explain a few concepts that are unique to Energetic NLP that are really important for us to do the work. Then you're going to learn how to put your spirit and your inner wisdom in charge, relax, and just let the magic happen. We call these energy spa sessions because it's a lot like going to get a massage. If you go to get a massage, you have to set the intention, you've got to give permission, and then you just relax and let them do their thing. Your job is to set it up, give permission, have intention, but then you have to relax and just let it happen. In the same way, in an Energetic NLP Energy Spa session, you just relax and let it happen. Before that, though, you will set your intention, you will give permission, you will learn how to put your spirit and your inner wisdom in charge, and then, again, you get to relax and let the magic happen. So I'm Mark Giser. I'm the creator of Energetic NLP, and Energetic NLP is the child of several fields. It's the child of NLP, or Neuro-Linguistic Programming. If you've never heard of it, you've certainly heard of the most famous person in our field, who is Tony Robbins. And he has his own philosophy, his own way of doing things. And the core of his power to transform people's lives comes from his training in NLP. And I've been an NLP trainer since about 1985, I think a couple of years after Tony. And I combine it with spiritual principles, healing and transformative energy work, intuition development, clairvoyance, and channeling. So Energetic NLP is the child of all of those, but like any wonderful child, it tries to take the best from its parents, but it's grown into its own unique field with its own unique beliefs and concepts and methodologies. So one of the things that's unique about Energetic NLP is a concept called your miraculous self. Your miraculous self. Unlike your high self, so your high self just exists. Your miraculous self, you can think of it like a muscle in your body that you haven't used. So it kind of exists, but it's not functional. It can't do anything. But when you start using it, it gets stronger and stronger, and you can do more and more with it. Your miraculous self is like that. It kind of exists, but until you start using it, it's essentially not functional. And what it is, your miraculous self is when your spirit with its vast awareness and your deep inner human wisdom with its very practical wisdom are aligned and working together. Now, sometimes people go, well, don't they automatically work together? And the complicated answer for that is no, they don't automatically work together. In areas in your life where everything flows and just works really well, they might be working together there. But any area in your life where you've plateaued or you're actually stuck, really good chance that they're not working together. And getting them to work together really well is something that in the advanced energetic NLP programs we really work on. And it's something that you keep developing and evolving, and you can take it further and further. The good news is the first step of it is just consciously creating it. And just by doing that, it already becomes very powerful. And while it's not the whole story, it's very significant. So in a moment, I'm going to ask you to set your intention and give permission for your spirit and your deep inner human wisdom to form your miraculous self. And if you've done this before, set your intention and give permission that your miraculous self is evolving and getting stronger in its ability to communicate with your unconscious mind, your conscious mind, and with the systems of your body is growing stronger and stronger. And the goal is for your miraculous self to guide you, nurture you, support you, and help you manifest. Guide you, nurture you, heal you, support you, and help you manifest. In any energetic NLP process, there's always 4 things that are involved. 3 of them I've already mentioned: intention, permission, putting your miraculous self in charge. And the 4th one is so easy that people make it hard. The 4th one is to be playful and use your imagination and just pretend. I discovered by accident decades ago that my students were holding themselves back because they were trying to do it right, and they were trying to do everything right and get the most out of it, and they were being very serious. And as soon as I got them playful and I got them to stop trying to do it right, just pretend they were doing it right and pretend that it was working and let go of analyzing it, all of a sudden their abilities skyrocketed. And they could do in one day what used to take them 4 days. They could do in 4 days what used to take them weeks. And so in this session, I invite you to just imagine and pretend that it's working. You don't actually have to believe that it's working. This isn't faith healing. You just have to pretend it. When you were a child, you would pretend things, and you knew we didn't even think if they were true or not. You would just pretend to be an astronaut or a superhero or an actor or an actress or the president of the United States or a military leader or whatever was in your imagination. You would just pretend it was true, and you didn't even think about whether it was actually true. You didn't believe it. You were just having fun pretending it. So as we get into this session, you'll set your intention, you'll give permission, you'll put your miraculous self in charge, and then just relax and just pretend it's working. Later, you'll know if it worked or not. But while it's happening, just pretend it's happening and pretend it's working. So, again, our theme for today is about increasing the courage to change our lives. Increasing the courage to change our lives. When we know in our head and in our heart and in our guts that it's time to make a change, that we have the courage to do it. We don't put it off for days, weeks, months, years, lifetimes. We just do it. So take a couple easy deep breaths. And right now, create your miraculous self. And to do that, just set your intention that right now, your spirit with its vast awareness and your deep inner human wisdom with a very practical awareness, just set your intention right now that they're forming your miraculous self. Set that intention. Give 100% permission for it to happen. And now just pretend that it's happening. And it doesn't take long. It takes seconds. So pretend that it's already happened. Now let's set our group energy field. An easy way to do that is just imagine this giant gold ball of energy. And that's our energetic NLP energy spa space. And just imagine while you're watching this, while you're listening to this, that we're all in this gold ball together. And at the end, we'll dissolve it. Excellent. Easy deep breaths. And let's just declare that this is a space of miracles. And declaring it's another way to just pretend. It's a space of miracles. It's a space of magic. It's a space where it's easy to let go of blocks and limitations, whether they're conscious or unconscious limiting beliefs. whether it's unconscious programming, whether it's energetic programming or spiritual programming, whether it's ancestral programming, familial programming, societal programming, programming from organizations, leaders, and teachers. This is a space where it's easy for your miraculous self to identify what limits you, dissolve it, and then your miraculous self will immediately replace it with wisdom, knowledge, concepts, skills, and abilities from your miraculous self, from your inner wisdom and spirit. So again, affirm that your intention right now is that you're going to increase the courage that you have to change your life when your mind, your heart, and your guts tell you it's the thing to do. Give 100% permission for what we're doing in this session to increase that courage. Give 100% permission for your miraculous self to be in charge. And that's all the hard work's done. Now it's a matter of pretending. So pretend right now that energies are coming in that your miraculous self is going to use, because your miraculous self is in charge. Your miraculous self will choose which of these energies it wants to use, and it will choose what blocks to your courage it's going to dissolve, what limiting beliefs or programming it's going to dissolve, whether it's unconscious, energetic, or spiritual. And your miraculous self will decide what to replace it with, what wisdom, concepts, skills, and abilities. And all you have to do is pretend that it's happening. And by the way, if you're listening to this when you're driving, turn this off or pull over. The energies are going to start getting really strong now. And the energies are designed to put you in an altered kind of space where it's easy for your miraculous self to dissolve the old blocks and replace them. Not the way you want to be when you're driving. So take an easy, deep breath and just pretend now a whole symphony of wonderful energies are coming in. And pretend that your miraculous self is choosing the energies it wants and using that to dissolve what blocks you and to replace it with what would empower you. Easy, deep breaths. No effort, just pretending. And these blocks could be anything. It could be blocks to living a healthier lifestyle, exercising, blocks to keep you, if you have any bad habits that you want to shift, blocks that limit you in your career, your business, your abundance. Blocks that limit you in terms of what's possible in terms of relationships, whether it's friendships or a primary relationship or relationships with your family. Easy deep breaths. And sometimes the courage we need is the courage to open up to all the spiritual help that's available to us. We all have amazing spiritual help available to us. And we all have different beliefs. So you may think that comes from God, angels, guides, the collective consciousness of humanity, deities, spirits. Wherever you think help comes from, part of the courage is the courage to allow that help to help you to transform your life under the guidance of your miraculous self. So you're still keeping your wisdom and your spirit in charge, but you're allowing all this help to come in to work with your miraculous self and transforming your lives. Easy deep breaths. It can be to have more courage about being creative, writing, painting, developing new things. It could be the courage to ask for what you want and need. It could be the courage to be less judgmental. It could be the courage to embrace the unfolding of life. It could be the courage to allow yourself to be more powerful and face your fears about how you use your power. The courage to make decisions. It could be the courage to make decisions rather than excuses. Easy deep breaths. It could be the courage to change our beliefs and opinions, even ones we treasure. It could be the courage to do our work knowing that it's not always going to work. And sometimes, if we're working with people, they won't get what they wanted or needed. It could be the courage to embrace the parts of ourselves that we don't like, to embrace and heal them. Easy deep breaths. Let's bring in energies to help us process and integrate what we've done, what you've done. Because you'll be processing this for days. So allow the energy to come in to make that processing as elegant and graceful and flowing as possible. With the courage that if it's not elegant and graceful and flowing, the courage to get through it, knowing that what's on the other side will be worth it. And the courage to do it when we're just hoping what will be on the other side will be worth it. If you're doing anything after the session requires safety, set your intention and give permission for your unconscious mind and your miraculous self to turn down the processing and make sure you're grounded, safe, and alert. Grounded, safe, and alert. Grounded, safe, and alert. And set your intention that tonight when you're sleeping and for the next 3 nights, part of the time when you're sleeping, your unconscious mind and your miraculous self will review what you did in this session. It will infuse it with wisdom, knowledge, skills, and abilities from your miraculous self. It'll take what you did and it'll make it deeper, richer, wider. It'll make it higher and more multidimensional. And it will take the benefits and automatically integrate them into your personality and into your life. So while you sleep soundly, deeply, and wake up feeling refreshed, the benefits will be being automatically integrated into your life. And that can happen tonight and for the next 3 nights. It's really important to retrieve your energy from my space and everybody else's space in this session. So ask your miraculous self to retrieve all of your energy. Otherwise, you'll be depleted, and we'll all retrieve all of our energies out of your space. Dissolve any grounding and let the earth ground you now in present time and ground you for having more courage to change your life when your head, your heart, and your guts know it's time to make changes. Send out what we call spiritual emails. So when you shift your energy, after like an energetic NLP energy spa such as this one, your energy is clearer and it's better and it's different. And on an inner level, pets and people can pick up on that. And sometimes they're just confused because they know something's different and they can't quite put their finger on it or their paw on it, depending. So the way to take care of that is have your miraculous self send out what we call spiritual emails. And it's just showing all the people in your life, and include your pets and your plants, what your energy looks like now. And you're not looking for approval. You're just going, this is how my energy looks now, so you recognize it. Simple as that. Let's dissolve our group energy space. You take your right hand, pat the left side of your body. Take your left hand, pat the right side of your body. Take your hands and pat the same side of your body your hands are on. It'll be important to drink water It'll be important to drink water later. And it's also really good to move a little bit or stretch a little bit. I mean, you can stretch a lot if you're used to doing that. But at least a little movement because your body wants to readjust and realign now that your energies are realigning. I do want to mention Saturday, I'm doing a 3-hour kind of half workshop on going beyond what you think is possible in your life. All the information is at www.energeticnlp.com/possible. So energeticnlp.com/possible, just like you can see on the screen. And if you're in the M Club, you'll get a special link to use because it's included in the M Club, whether you're in the new M Club or you were in the M Club. So you'll get an email with that link. Might not be till tomorrow, but you'll get it. And let's see. I think that's it. So thank you for being part of this. And I really look forward to hearing about how you're courageously approaching change in your life. So bye, everybody. You can still comment, but I'm going to turn off the video.